examples of it.
Yep.
You want to cover the rule of 72? That'd be something.
Oh my god, the rule of 72. I love the rule of 72. It's my favorite.
When James, I tasked James that you have to work towards a better set.
Okay.
Like if you could create in your mind, what would be the most fun set to do it? It would be like in a pub, wouldn't it?
A pub would be pretty cool.
No, I'm never gonna let you down now.
George, let me get this for you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, okay, excellent.
Look good.
I think I got all the documents
Headshot
off.
day.
Excellent.
Hello. Welcome to the Chiefs Financial Podcast, number 3, I think. It's June the 20th, 2018. We're happy to be here today. Now the Chiefs, with 2 F's, stands for
Charitable. Hospitable. What is that? Innovative.
Innovative. They seem different than last time.
Exuberant.
Yes, we are. Above all, we are 2,
Financial fools.
and we're happy to be here because we want to bring the joy of investing to the Canadian populace and how that investment can make your life a lot better with security, stability, independence, the freedom from debt, and you can have some fun along the way too. It's not that hard. If we can do it, anybody can do it.
Never gonna let you down.
So, George, we had some feedback from our viewers last time. They wanted us to kind of expand on compound interest. It sounds super difficult to discuss, but I know you're up for the task.
I am totally up for the task. I think really what spurred all the questions on was Albert Einstein, the greatest force in the universe was compound interest. I said it twice. I love that. That's my favorite quote.
So, compound interest first is what?
Well, the simplest way to describe compound interest is probably by saying is that it's interest on interest. The best way for me to describe it is an example. You have $100 today, and you're going to make 10% as interest.
Right.
So if you do not take this 10% and you build on it, your $100 will be $110. Well, if you don't take out that original $10, you're actually going to make $11 the following year. 10% on 110 is $11. So at the end of 2 years, you've made $21 instead of 10 plus 10, which is $20.
So now you're at $121.
Exactly.
So what are some examples of this?
There's some GICs out there that you can buy that actually will compound the interest. I think there's actually a very good example that we have, mortgage investment corporations. If you decide to reinvest your dividend, which is really an interest dividend. Those are awesome vehicles for compound interest.
And actually another example would be something like the stock exchange. If you buy a company that gives a dividend in cash, it will reinvest it in more shares too.
Yeah,
Oil
absolutely.
companies do that, bank stocks will
For
do
sure,
that.
absolutely. It's not even just the whole compound interest, it's compound return. That's really what it's all about. It's not taking out your dividend, taking out your interest, it's just letting that build. And the more it builds, you basically have a bigger base that you're working with at the beginning of every new calendar, fiscal, whatever type of year it is.
Okay, so why do we like it so much? How can we calculate how good it is in life? What is the best rule in the world?
The best rule. I'm so happy you said that. My favorite rule. The rule of 72. Rule of 72 is you take the number 72, you divide that by whatever the interest rate is, say 6%. 72 divided by 6, your money will double in 12 years.
That's right. That is fantastic.
Yeah, so the higher the rate of
So
return,
your first example of 10%, your
Yeah.
money is going to double in,
7.2 years.
which means that in 7.2 years you'll have $200.
Exactly.
And so then if you were a scribe, how old are you? 20. Okay, he's 20, it's a round number. So by the time he's 60, 40 years have passed.
40 years have passed.
And so how many times has his money doubled?
5.5 times.
Yeah. So it's worth at least $150. Kidding. How much? It goes
Well,
1 to 2,
So 1
2 to
so
4.
16 to 32, 32, it'll be about 40.
So you start with $100, now you have $4,000.
$400. 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16.
100. You started with 100.
Yeah, the 100 goes to 200, 400, 800, 1600, 3200. Yeah, at about
Was that a half?
4,000-ish.
Was that
Yeah,
a
that's
half?
the half. Sorry, that's the half-ish.
Hired could never conspire to.
And the best part for the Canadian investor is the 5 or 6 different registered vehicles that there are, depending on your age and what you're doing.
Fantastic.
We got RSP, RESP, TFSA, LIRA, I'm probably missing one, but whatever.
Fire to kill. She's to mother, not quietly smother you when you're most ill.
Let's say there's 4.
Those sheltered accounts, the best. In Canada, interest income is taxed very heavily. Any chance you could get to put that income in a sheltered account, fantabulous.
Which one do you like for the person that's just starting out?
Well, the person that's just starting out, there's 2 that I would recommend the most. It's your RSP and your TFSA. If you have income, if you have lots of taxable income and you want the taxable receipt, definitely go for the RRSP.
I agree.
But boy, oh boy, that TFSA, it has got some awesome characteristics. You're sure you're putting in after-tax dollars in, but the money that comes out, no tax on it. Awesome. Thank you very much, Harper regime.
Because he was not a... And so the downtrodden, really, this is your chance to ooze out of the mire and create your own fortune for financial independence later in life.
It's fantastic. You get to grow your money tax-free. That is unreal. Lightning round.
Yes.
Yes.
We're getting way better. We've done our mental gymnastics. We're all stretched out. We're not going to
Yep.
pull a hammy.
Yeah, we all know what teats are versus the other thing.
First question.
16, Mississippi, blue,
Yes.
brothel.
No.
There you go. On to the second question. Who was a Trump equivalent when you describes indefinite age?
Yes.
Trump equivalent. I'm not sure we have a Trump equivalent, but we had guys that really stirred the pot. I think Reagan. I mean, Reagan really fundamentally in the economic fashion, he really came up with the whole trickle-down economics. Him and Margaret Thatcher. The concept is that if you have more money in the hands of the wealthier or the people that make more money, eventually they're going to be buying more items, using more services, and the money will trickle down. That's
You know who else is a disruptor right now?
Who's that?
Is the Popey guy, Francis.
Oh, Francis?
Yes, because he is changing the Catholics' approach to how they've been quite a disciplined in their dogma.
Yeah.
And now he is shaking up. He's even on Twitter, and he's doing all sorts of
Just
different
jealous
things.
of Donald Trump.
So he is a different political disruptor at the moment.
Yeah. Next.
Next question. What was Adam Smith's revolutionary book and what was it about?
The
It was-
Wealth of Nations! I have 2 copies. If anybody needs one, I always have an emergency copy on hand.
Are they-
And really, the concept is the invisible hand, baby.
Okay, for all the rest of humanity
Oh,
that doesn't know
invisible.
who he is,
Yes.
who is he?
Adam Smith is really the father of capitalism, if you really think about it. The concept is the invisible hand, and really, it's an economic theorem where if everybody takes care of their own good, the whole good of everybody will be taken care of.
Next is what is the code of Hammurabi?
Hammurabi is a taco stand in Guadalajara,
Yeah.
and the code of Hammurabi is never to serve meat that's spoiled.
Or it could be the basis of law.
And finally,
What would be the Canadian equivalent to Wall Street? What is the Canadian like?
Bay Street.
Bay Street.
Bay Street in Toronto is a fantastic place to be. That downtown Toronto is where you get to really see the financial markets moving all the time. It is a wondrous thing that we have this one ecosystem right down in one city that manages a lot of Canada's deals, wealth, power, all that kind of stuff.
And now to summarize?
Summarize. So today we talked about compound interest, the code of taco sellers in Guadalajara.
Also known as the Code of Hammurabi.
And we
Adam Smith,
talked
baby.
about how important it is for people to start as early as they can to invest, to pick something that compounds their return, so keeps reinvesting it. And that is what we do, the Chiefs. We are interested in Canada's populace securing their own financial independence, and we want to have some fun doing it.
Start early investing, be diligent, pay down debt.
See you, business.
Financial freedom.
We're out.